close match, no matter what the scoreboard says, and I'm glad that this rivalry still delivers a year on.
And I think also, Seoul obviously winning their first match, Dallas losing their first match of the week. Like, Dallas does not want to go 0-2 here to kick off their year. And Seoul Dynasty, they have a win under their belt. Maybe you're chilling a little bit coming to this match, thinking you're going to win it.
This is, okay, I saw OG on the summer, I was a little bit unsure. This seems much more reasonable. Both sides going with, and I said it earlier today, very well-behaved compositions, right? They're bringing 3 tanks, 3 supports. It's robust, it's reliable, it works.
I was like, what is a well-behaved composition?
As in, like, they're not deviating too much from what we would consider to be a norm in this case. Did your parents not teach, like, the behavior they taught you when you grew up? It's like what was, normally accepted?
Hey, look, for me, the 6 DPS, 4 or 5 DPS, that's acceptable by my standards as well. So I'm good with that. Whatever they want to do.
Oh, that discord to Michelle up on that high ground forced him down. He had to be very quick to get away. The trades of damage here are quite interesting. We've seen RCK, he gets chased down by Fisher, and no one from Dallas really goes in to help him, even though Fisher extended quite deeply to chase that D.Va down. They were so busy elsewhere, so Dallas can't even trade that kill out, much to their chagrin, I'm sure. Almost getting Unco there. And Fisher has to back out.
And already with Primal Rage, this tells you how much he's already done. So right there, RCK, there was really no opportunity to even heal him. Fisher knew that one-on-one was going to go his way.
He picked this fight well. That's what you must do, especially as a Winston player. Especially going up against Reinhardt in this comp, Fisher needs to be a little careful. OG is missing, so Fisher now can really try and turn it up a notch. But perhaps just jumping to scout is enough. I mean, it's kind of, you don't feel good here as the Dallas feel, right? You're waiting for your Reinhardt to come back. You've got to get out.
Yeah, I mean, you're not leaving Reinhardt at the gate.
What? Effect, again, we saw this earlier in the day.
Yeah,
Effect tries to grab Fisher, he jumps away. We actually saw that in the Atlanta versus Philadelphia match where DeFran tried to catch out Sato. So it's not as bad as it seems, but it does mean that Fleta now is the only one on the field with a Graviton Surge. And no doubt he's going to try and use that as well as possible. The rally from Dallas Fuel, we heard it. It heralds their push forward, so Seoul take a big old step back. Here's the Transcendence coming out of RYUJEHONG. OG is down, and Unco doesn't go for his Transcendence here. He chooses not to use it until very late. And it's far too late now. Oh! Okay! I was wrong. And I'm happy to admit it. What a turnaround in that fight. It was all going wrong for Dallas, Matt. Unco, the super late Transcendence.
It was all going wrong, and then it all went right.
Oh my gosh. Well, Dallas feel we're going to walk away with the point there. It had to happen eventually, I guess.
And it's not like Seoul played that fight poorly. It was just RCK. And I'm looking at the mini-map, and I can see where a few players are positioned, and I see the D.Va icon go flying through the air, and I'm like, oh no.
Again, they were playing with the Reinhardt. It's kind of hard to avoid the D.Va self-destruction. You have a shield, you can just point in the right direction. Now Seoul, they've got to be angry about that one. They're out for blood, but Dallas are not going to give it to him so cheaply. Sound barrier used by them. Just really to stave Seoul off at this stage. So Dallas feel having to play kind of defensively in that little moment. But they're still here, they've still set their feet. They don't have support ultimates to shepherd them in, whereas Jexer does have one. Here's the Graviton Surge. Oh, Jexer's down. He had the ult. He couldn't use it while he was suspended in midair. What a perfect sequence for Dallas. OG goes down to Fisher. Fisher always fighting until the end. RCK looking like he's about to get desuited here. The numbers are there for Dallas. They're not on the point yet, but they're transitioning across. Very clean. Fisher comes in from the rear.
How is he still alive?
Jexer, the sound barrier, of course, was important, but Fisher must have just slunk away. It may not really matter here. Jexer, the Discord orb makes it impossible for him to hang around, even at such a height, and Zachary just holds the door. Says, if you want to come through, you have to challenge me. Michelle gets desuited. That's 2 ticks now for the Dallas Fuel. Seoul going to make one more push in just a moment, but the Graviton Surge is going to stop them. It's going to end their tracks, end their push. Things just going right for Dallas Fuel right now. Not a phrase I said much of last year, but perhaps the tables have turned on that particular one. They finished the attacking side. Let's see how they defend after the break.
Welcome back to the second half here between Dallas Fuel and Seoul Dynasty, and I want to just show this like one time, just because people get an idea of the map feed that I'm looking at as this goes on. So you can see RCK to the side. He takes like this route around this little pipe and barrels, and it's perfectly placed on the corner. I'm watching that thing travel through the air after Seoul starts that fight.
Mate,
and it just goes horribly for them in the end.
Try me getting grilled with a correct call on a late Transcenders, which it was. Everyone's like, was it late, bro? They got that 3K. They did. You can never expect that stuff. That's why this game is beautiful. It's also why I muted you on Twitter. Here's the push in now. Michelle and Co going up on that high ground to make their way through. Again, 3 minutes 44. That's a good time bank. You're not upset with that. But Seoul, you know they're going to be responding in kind here. They're not happy about that. And they have the high ground to start with.
Sombra defense here for the Dallas Fuel. It'll be RCK. Interesting we talk about him as a flex tank player. I feel like he's played more Sombra than anything that we've seen this far. As OG gets stunned up. Ooh, not able to keep him alive. That's going to be a tough loss there for Dallas, as you expect Seoul to start the push onto the point.
Jacks are down, so there is a trade of sorts here, although it's very different.
Yeah.
Closer taking a hit. Effect has to be pretty charged up right now, but there's only so long they can hang on for. Dallas Fuel get bowled over on point A here. Lovely stuff from Seoul Dynasty. They make their way through. They get that pick on OG. They use that tendency from Dallas that surfaces every now and then of OG just to get a little separate from the rest of his team.
JHONG with a few final blows during that fight. Got the Transcendence. You got Rally here. We'll see, it all comes down to how they've tracked ultimates. If they think Gunko has Transcendence or not. You know he doesn't. Maybe you get a little bit, an offensive Transcendence coming in. You do have Rally. Maybe Rally grab, hold on to that Trance a little bit longer. You have to be careful. RCK does have the EMP though.
Oh, there it is. Not a bad connection at all, Matt. 4 players. And that's what the Dallas Fuel were looking for. They knew Seoul were going to be trying to steamroll and snowball this one out.
He ran, what the definition of winnable, not careful. The definition of that would be what you just saw there. They just kind of all grouped up. Maybe they're just trying to get the EMP out before they decide to push in for the next push. Just give up one fight. You have enough time to give up one fight. So that's the plan there. RCK switches off now. So now you have the luxury of just being able to group up. You're not worried about one of those huge EMPs coming through.
Yeah, why take the risk of having to just play Sombra and charge up another EMP when you can get picked off by a lot of what Seoul are bringing here. So again, very forward hold for Dallas. The only player sitting back on the point right now is Unco. He'll need to be protected, so Dallas really pushing towards his opening, but Seoul want to run over the top of it. Oh no! Oh, Dallas fans hate to see it. Effect gets nothing out of the grab. Michelle goes, thank you.
It was the right idea though. They go down there aggressive. They let them burn Transcendence. That'll be a shatter that comes through from OG, and there's the grab that comes out from Seoul Dynasty. It's got everybody grouped up against the wall.
They burst Effect down. Effect was actually in the Transcendence's effective range. He either was body blocked or he just didn't get the healing fast enough. Very smart from Fisher though to try and shatter as Dallas backed away from that self-destruct. And now Dallas are in a bit of a tough spot here. Seoul are a whole minute ahead right now, and Flatter really good positioning on the point here. It's going to be OGE to push up. RCK sitting up on that high ground, trying to take a peripheral angle here. Maybe find a way he can get in, but Seoul, they will not be denied. Not after the way that first half went.
Not again.
Nope, they're going to make Dallas go back and try and do it again. That's all you look at that self-destruct. Miracles. Don't happen every day. Happen every day. Definitely don't happen every round.
I was getting flashbacks. I was looking at the mini-map. I'm seeing Singo flying through the air again.
I mean, and this is what Seoul fans really want to see. They're about 41 seconds ahead in time bank, which is really good considering that Dallas, there were a few things that really lined up for them on their attack. Seoul just did it the old-fashioned way. Really clean, very clean.
Kind of goes back to what we were talking about. Like both teams playing so well in this series that they're both above 4 minutes in the time bank. Not a ton of defense here.
Yeah, they're playing well on the attacking side, I guess, is the way to put it.
Yeah.
And OG again on that first fight, getting a little bit caught. Let's see how this went down. Oh.
The players are spending too much time watching traditional sports, knowing there's no defense in them anymore. So they're like, hey, why don't we just try that in our game?
Oh. There it is, Michelle. Getting a big eat there. I mean, we've seen a couple of D.Va players really sort of rise to the top in terms of what they've been able to provide for their teams. I'd say Space, one of them. Rhea, of course, was very much heralded yesterday. Michelle, I mean, that spot is for the taking for him as well. We've seen him play an excellent Sombra. I kind of like how he's being integrated into Seoul. I want to see more.
I think one of the things that I think the both of us and the rest of the talent team, I'm sure everybody at home is, taken from watching the first week. Talent level is like even like much higher than last year. Like all the expansion teams came in with really strong rosters. The teams from the inaugural season, fixed all the issues that happened with those rosters. Like they're not going to be like any easy games on the schedule for any of these teams this year.
You know what I'm excited about, Matt? It's actually the new players into the league that have raised the standard so much. They've come in and made
they're out there
difference.
grinding, man.
Oh, look, and they're so experienced with, for example, 3 tank, 3 support comps. They bring that level of expertise when, prior, the Overwatch League had not seen that kind of play. Dallas, okay, getting a bit mardy. They want to push out. I mean, maybe they were trying to get up onto that high ground. They don't have it now, and they are still playing together. At least that's something that's working in their favor. Fisher, again, using those jumps to do a little bit of scouting as he goes over the top of OG, and OG needs to be careful. He can get caught where he is. He realizes and backs away after getting discorded. But Dallas need to move from this room eventually. They have to relocate.
Hopefully they relocate before a Primal Rage or a Graviton Surge becomes available.
Well, it's going to look like an abattoir if they don't in there. Unco again, safe distance. Sees Zachary a little bit low, so needs to rush and put his orbs on the right players. A trade, they lose OG again. Dallas, their signature aggressive tank falls down quite early on. The fact that they were able to trade that for a Brigitte isn't bad, but again, you see, they don't feel confident about that exchange. It's not the transaction they were looking for.
And I know in terms of Zens right now, Unco and Jehong really about even. I mean, across the board, both of them just putting up crazy numbers in terms of damage. And then you see how fast both of them are building up to Transcendence already. Both with the Transcendence here. I mean, a little bit over a minute for both players.
Oh, here's the Primal.
Dealing tons of damage. Here's the Primal Rage. You see they're building up some energy there with Fleta putting the bubble on. He backs out.
Fleta's happy just sitting on this grab and looking to get value out of it soon. Fisher's Primal caused him to go down to about half health, but he managed to get out. Now Dallas want to try and make something happen. You'd have to think so. Here's the Graviton Surge, immediately responded. Transcendence in play. Michelle trying to split up Dallas a little bit more, but no one affected by it except RCK. He did get split. Dallas not coming with the sound barrier late in the fight, but they get Jehong. That's a decent trade. We take those. Now the Transcendence in. Michelle high ground just pounding that damage in. Dallas, they're trying to capture the point, but they need to clear Soul off before they do that. Again, OGE is down. Where's the trade going to come from? They have to get something for that. There's Munchkin and Fleta being removed. Much more of a grinding fight for Dallas, and now Fish is going to try and keep the dream alive. Primal Rage, but he knows he can't do it. He jumps off the point into the drink. And Dallas Fuel get that point A. Cost them about 2 minutes.
Yeah, they're not able to take advantage of this death by Fissure. Maybe go in pretty quick because OG's still coming off the respawn. Fissure uses the Primal, jumps right into the ocean out there. He's going to go over to Reinhardt. So mirror matchup here for both teams. Dallas an advantage in terms of ultimate economy though. You know Fissure is just a shover. No Shatter. OG with the Shatter here. And you have Grab.
Dallas going to go whenever they can. It's going to be now. Grab and Shatter in the same fight. That's got to be good news for Dallas. And Fissure is down. OG's going to be looking for a little bit more, but Effect is traded out. Jexa gets in there. You can see he skitters off on the left-hand side, but closes in. Hot pursuit. Munchkin, though, is down. Fleta knocked to the ground, but Jehong is there to save the day with the Transcendence. But OG, that Earth Shatter now, having used that, Dallas need to find some more picks. They have a Transcendence to work with. Unco barely gets out alive, and it looks like they don't fancy it anymore. Soul has shunted them off this point.
I mean, you lose one of your largest sources of damage with Effect dropping. But I like what they decided to do there. They solo grab Fissure. You know if you take out the Reinhardt, you can get that free Shatter. It's just Effect doesn't live. If he lives there, you land the Shatter. They actually solo Shatter Fleta, forces the Transcendence out. Maybe you're able to make something happen, getting in between the two with a bubble on Effect and trying to block the line of sight to take him out.
Here's that Graviton Surge. Dallas don't even really get to the point, and OGE goes down again. Unco can't do much about it. The way he was grabbed as well, it made it very hard for him to get healing. No line of sight for that Transcendence to have any effect. So, unfortunately for Dallas fans, that doesn't work out. The ult's not really doing anything. And now, they're having a Zach Galifianakis moment with all the maths going past them on the screen because they've got 19 seconds to pull out something comparable to what they did on that first push on King's Row overtime.
See where they try and plan this attack from. All right.
Okay. They thought about it.
They thought about it. Everybody didn't make it though, so now you're gonna have to go in through the front door.
It's time. Rally from Munchkin. He knows that they're about to get hit hard, and Soul are gonna close ranks here. Batten down the hatches. The storm's coming. Fissure very low. That sound barrier had to come out there because Dallas would have jumped on top of him. Self-destruct, forcing Soul off at the point now, and it's the Transcendence coming out from Jehong. Fleta is down. This could be something. Effect has himself the Graviton Surge. We're looking to use it, but he's knocked to the ground before he has the chance. The chance comes out. I think Fisher was really trying to get rid of the Zaya as quick as he could, but Munchkin gets the job done anyway with Effect's Graviton being eaten. That was what they needed to finish this one off. Now Munchkin, a moment alone with Unco in this small room, and they are off the points. Soul had to weather so many ultimates there. Michelle, another Graviton eat. Lightning doesn't strike twice, I guess.
Yeah, really nice play there from Michelle to eat that Graviton Surge from Effect, and then also Munchkin putting that pressure onto Unco. Unco, you know, if that pressure doesn't come through, he's going to come out, hit that Transcendence. OG on the point. He was taking out everybody. You would have kept him up, potentially would have been able to extend that for the Dallas Fuel.
Despite Unco having a couple of moments in this map so far where, you know, it was clear to see he wasn't able to get value or as much value out of that Transcendence. He's about 500 Transcendence healing behind JEHONG, which isn't much. JEHONG's 4,800, he's 4,330. Despite all that, still managing to keep his team topped up. But here's the situation now. Dallas Fuel not managing to take point B. So, that's all they really have to do here.
You know, for me, with Unco, it's, you know, the 12k damage, 800 to JEHONG.
Distinct difference, I'd say.
Quarter. You know, in terms of following up on damage on Discord, it's 1,000 more for Unco than JEHONG. So,
I mean, that is incredibly high, considering what, you know, the only one with higher damage is Effect on that particular team. So
right.
That hurts. 4 minutes, 44 seconds. Soul trying to stay in the series. Dallas trying to end it all here. Again, no one's going crazy with these compositions. The stakes are just too high right now. Soul will walk in without so much as a knock on the door.
It's interesting that Soul has not gone back to Michelle on the Sombra. Very good on King's Row. You really like, you know, Fleta and Fissure, obviously not your traditional, you know, off-tank and main tank combination, but, you know, Fissure obviously being a main tank, but Fleta being a damage dealer. They have very good synergy, you know, landing these bubbles at the right time, you know, from the Zarya to the Reinhardt. Those EMPs could be huge like they were in King's Row.
So Effect got knocked off the high ground there and didn't really get a lot of value out of his own bubble. OG, again, keep an eye on him. Watch his positioning. Dallas will really need to fan out behind him to support him and with the way that he wants to play. To play the corner now, halfway towards that first Earth Shatter. He's ahead of Fissure. And a Fire Strike in time saves 9. There you go, there's your average Transcendence healing. So even though Unco's getting some trans and they're not working very well, on average, it's vastly better. Thank you for that, Troutman. That's how we communicate now. Big knockdown, though. A Reinhardt player would scream, it's huge. OGE still being kept up. Great Transcendence timing for both teams yet again. Here's the Shadow, it's 3! That's what he's after! Dallas needed that one so bad. What a way to relieve that pressure, and they need to keep doing this.
I mean, right now, though, you only have Sound Barrier. It's the gong rings for the team kill. You only have Sound Barrier to defend against, you know, Grab, Shatter, a Sound Barrier, Self-Destruct. So Seoul Dynasty coming in with some tools here for fight number 2. What are they, you know, a best case scenario for Seoul is you can get by here using, you know, let's say you use Shatter and then use Grab to build another Shatter, and then maybe you have to use Sound Barrier to build it up. It'll be...
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, you can't.
With Fissure where he was as well, pretty sure Zach stunned him up. Well, he wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah, nice stun.
And even if that self-destruct doesn't yield those 2 kills, Soul looked so split after the fact, they probably would have had half that team wiped.
It's gotta be, I mean, it's draining for us to go crazy after these self-destructs. It has to be draining to keep getting hit by them. And right there, I mean,
it's been a long week.
Yeah, I mean, you get stunned from the side, right? If you're Fissure and you drop your shield, there's nothing you can do. I mean, JEHONG probably is expecting the shield to be there. There's no defense to that.
Here's that grab. You see the closer is not caught in it. He's sitting in the back. Very important Sound Barrier now going over towards Dallas. They avoid getting anyone taken down by the self-destruct, but OG again wasn't in the position he wanted to be. They managed to isolate him, and Dallas now have to get aggressive to try and at least get a player back, but that's when the Transcendence comes out of Soul. Great response. And now Effect goes down, trying to find that kill. The harder Dallas try, the more they extend, the more they're punished by Soul. RCK sitting at the back, and yeah, he's gonna have to take a dip. And Soul take that point A, and that's it. Now they know what they have to do, Matt. They know what they need to do to win the map. They're going to have about 1:30 left as they make their charge on point B.
Dallas did get Soul to use a lot of their ultimates, though. They held on a grab, rally, self-destruct. So you'll have a few grabs to play with. You have a few ultimates to play here with. Maybe grab early, build up another shatter here if you're Dallas.
Soul need that first tick. If they don't get it, this map is drawn and Soul will be unable to win the series on map wins. So basically, it is absolutely win or lose. There is no draw here for Soul in that sense. Effect. Oh, he's taking a lot of damage. Was he not aware of that one? OG wasn't able to keep him up. Disaster strikes for the Dallas Fuel, and Soul Dynasty look to take advantage. OGE next to fall. Zachary getting pinned down against the wall. He can't get away. Closer just sitting off towards the side with Unko desperately trying to keep him topped up with that Transcendence, but he can't even get to his aid. Unko gets burst down. RCK stock on the wrong side of that little opening, and that's it. Soul stay alive.
Soul stay alive. They captured that point B.